Now we have Aya De Leon, lecturer, African American Studies. Welcome, Aya.
Thank you. What's up, Houston family? Make some noise! So I'm the director of June Jordan's Poetry for the People. I'm going to spit a piece here that's a remix of a piece that I wrote about teaching in the American Cultures program. It's called Baseline. I'm a Berkeley girl. I grow up in the flatlands and get Berkeley public educated while this university thumps like a baseline soundtrack to my childhood. A scenic landscape for afternoon strolls to the record stores, a eucalyptus grove to shelter late night high school makeout sessions. Berkeley in the 70s is a charmed time and place, after integration but before crack. The first U.S. district to voluntarily desegregate schools but before Prop 13 cuts funding. No fences at Berkeley High's open campus. But charms have limits. Berkeley is part of American culture just as sure as race and class achievement gaps and higher test scores in the hills than the flats. I leave for college in '84, come back from the East Coast in '92. The ravages of Reaganomics have molded a harder-edged Berkeley with an exploding homeless population. A cyclone fence around Berkeley High proclaims a closed campus where folks will be kept out, held in, held back, or they just drop out. Meanwhile, Southside campus merchants show lack of love for South Berkeley teens, but as a working young adult, I have no time for strolls to the record store, now CD store. No more kisses that taste of eucalyptus and textbooks. I moved to Oakland, can't hear the bass line from Lake Merritt. Soon I discover the East Bay poetry scene, from the Ashe Project to La Peña Cultural Center to Poetry for the People to Youth Speaks. The 90s mixes Berkeley's bass line into a hip-hop instrumental track to accompany words from young lips, where the community and university sing in harmony. But in 2002, June Jordan passes away and we lose our living link, and the bass plays alone on the hill, acoustic, unamplified, manufacturing theory disconnected from practice. And increasingly, our own faculty has a serious town gown split. Some of us are tenure track, riding slick trains to higher wages and heralded research, while teaching is a last thought or a low-high priority, although not all. And then here come the lecturers. Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to teach we go, like seven dwarves, overworked, overloaded, overlooked, underpaid, undervalued, sleepy, and duck. But thank goodness for our union, always fighting for our rights. Union, union on the front line. Can we get our contract in time? Fortunately for me, the Lecturers and Librarians Union is strong when I appear on campus, an accidental academic. I start teaching here in African American Studies in 2006. I step into a course that shapes young voices to speak personal histories and explore American cultures through poetry. But young adult poets out in the community and young adult poets on campus spit similar poems while they view each other with traditional town gown suspicion. But I know this dichotomy is false because I'm a Berkeley girl, old school, hailing from the 70s, when the success of the free speech movement was a recent memory and the city and the campus looked to each other for inspiration. So when I step onto this campus knowing too many young lyrical geniuses with menial SAT scores who had too many jobs in high school to get that GPA, so I say come to Berkeley to learn and to teach, because June Jordan showed us that anybody can write and anybody can teach, whether they're enrolled or not. And I become part of this tradition and this team. We teach on campus and at Berkeley High School, because this culture, this young adult poetry culture, is American culture, like hip-hop is American culture and activism is American culture, just as sure as the African American and Arab American and mixed heritage poetry and history in our syllabus, just as sure as we know in our bones that Black lives matter, because we are all Berkeley and we deserve access to this public resource. And I know this because I was raised up in this town in a time when my public high school had no gates to hold anyone in or out, and I still carry the taste of eucalyptus grove kisses on my lips. And at age 47, I rep with mad love for free speech, hippies, as well as hip hop. And together, we can plug an amplifier up to the baseline to show the whole world that this is not a closed campus where Cal students can learn that they are part of an arts, activism, academic tradition, and when they leave this place, they can become part of shaping American culture. I know this because I grew up in a time of hope and strong social movements, because I'm a Berkeley girl raised up in this town, and I wouldn't have it any other way.